Hey, it's the Morning Drive Top 5. It's brought to you by the Paint Doctor. Choice Woodman in for Jamie Lint this time, and I'm Chuck Hines. And Choice, let's give us 5 things that you're thinking about with Tech football as spring football is winding down.
All right, there's quite a few storylines this spring. I think the number one thing coming into the spring for me was offensive line. You got a lot of new transfers in. You're trying to piece things together, and you've got a new offensive line coach, so that's kind of 1A and 1B there. That's the first thing I thought of. Now with Behren Morton being out, that's where my focus is. That's number 2. How serious is the injury? You know, I think most people thought that this would be something that would be gone by this point in the spring. So I think it is a concern. How much of a concern we'll see once the season rolls around. So you got a new guy in Cameron Brown that's a transfer. You've obviously got Will Hammond, who's a highly touted kid out of high school. So who the backup
And Jake Strong from last year.
And Jake Strong from last year. So don't know who that's going to be, but I think those are some storylines. I think the fourth one for me goes to the defensive side. What does your defensive backfield look like? You're replacing a lot of talent, a lot of experience there. You've got a few pieces back there, but defensive backfield is where I'm taking a look at next. Number 5 for me, it's not on the field, but it's just you're practicing spring. You're having a spring game away from in Midland, and you've got all this construction going on around. So it's just kind of a different spring. I think there's a lot of pomp and circumstance that comes with having new stuff going on everywhere around in the spring.
You're going to get the cranes out of the way for football season, but I think for me the biggest concern right now is Behren Morton.
Yeah.
How is that shoulder? I mean, you never want your quarterback out for the spring. You never want to go, hey, well, he'll be all right this summer. Well, okay, how many hits can he take? So, I mean, that's a huge concern for me. I'm not sure if there was a game today that he would be your starting quarterback. He might be on your depth chart. I'm not sure he could go out there and play on the field of play. Number 4 for me is probably the defensive line, then offensive line. I think team leadership is a concern. And then the other thing is, who's going to be our kicker? I mean, how's that going to look? And then are they going to have the stadium done? Which I think they are. I think the stadium's going to be done. So that's job number 1. Get that stadium done, man. Cut the ribbon on that thing because it's looking awesome. That's the Morning Drive Top 5 brought to you by the Paint Doctor.